welcome to HITC Sport. Alright, so English footballers are finally moving abroad after spending a lifetime of being too scared to quit their country of birth. Sure, moving to a nation where you don't speak the language is probably quite scary, but look at Kieran Trippier. You really reckon he was a Spanish linguist? Or Jadon Sancho? I can't imagine he extensively studied German at school, and as you can see, the rewards are massive. I'm going to take a look at every year's English footballer who should have taken up the offer of a transfer abroad when they had the chance. Alright, let's go. 2008, Rio Ferdinand, Barcelona. Okay, let's get this right. Rio Ferdinand had a great career. I'm pretty sure he doesn't need a snot-nosed Irish YouTuber picking apart his career decisions, although even a blind sheep could tell you that him sticking around to bring his tired old legs to QPR, ending his legacy being captained by Clint Hill, who's about as clever as brushing your teeth with a knife and fork. The man always said he wished he played abroad, but never moved because he was so addicted to winning. Alright, well, 5 days after lifting the Champions League in Moscow, it was him, not Gerrard Piqué, who was sounded out by Barcelona, and you know what? He should have gone. 2008 was the year he pretty much completed English football. He's gone on to say that the two Champions League final defeats against Barcelona were the worst and most embarrassing nights of his career. Had he moved to Spain, they'd instead be the best nights of his career, playing for a side he described as the best club team of all time. Ferdinand has often complained that Fergie never let him bring the ball out of defence like he wanted. Christ, that's practically Pep Guardiola's goddamn brand. At the new camp, Rio Ferdinand would hands down be the best defender on planet Earth. Sure, at Old Trafford he stuck around for 3 more league titles, a League Cup and 1 FIFA Club World Cup before being dumped on the scrap heap after an embarrassing year under David Moyes. Oh, and let's not forget he stuck around long enough to lose 6-1 at home to Man City. In Spain during the same time frame, he'd have won 4 La Liga titles, 3 Copa del Reys, 3 Champions Leagues, 3 FIFA Club World Cups, before finishing a career having played with both Ronaldo and Messi in their prime and being a part of historic 5-0 and 6-2 thumpings of Real Madrid. Lads, he should have gone. 2009, Michael Owen, LA Galaxy. Okay, Michael Owen might not have had an official offer from the MLS when he left Newcastle in 2009, but I don't care. Maybe instead of sticking a desperate pamphlet through people's doors where you describe yourself as charismatic, cool and good looking, Christ above you'd swear it was Tinder, maybe instead of that desperate cry for attention, you should have just gone to the MLS and beat down any door until they let you in. Sticking around England was the worst thing he could have possibly ever done, as he completely destroyed the only true footballing relationship he might have had with a set of fans, before ending his career sitting beside Cameron Jerome on a bench at Stoke. It's just degrading for a Ballon d'Or winner. In 2009, it was obvious the man was finished. Just leave the country, go to the retirement home that was the MLS, and score a bucket load of goals against horrifically laughable defenders. Maybe then you could have retired with a shred of dignity, and hey, you could actually visit Anfield without fear of having a sandwich chucked at your head. 2010, David James, Celtic. Okay, to be fair, David James was turning 40 years of age during the summer of 2010. This wasn't exactly critical to save his career, but again, it might have saved him a few morsels of dignity, and he might not have wound up bankrupt at the back arse of Iceland. Sure, this guy had just been relegated with Portsmouth, but he'd also played in an FA Cup final, played in the World Cup with England. He could have got himself a decent move. Celtic were interested. Great, go there. Wind down your career winning some actual pieces of silverware. Go to your grave knowing what it feels like to lift an actual league title. Nah, instead he goes to Bristol City, who were red hot favourites for championship promotion under Steve Coppell, but they didn't even come close. Within 2 years, he was stuck on the Bournemouth bench, and then some random Icelandic team, before retiring with Kerala Blasters in India in 2014. Had he gone to Celtic Park, he'd have won 3 league titles, and might have tasted Champions League football for the first time in his career. 2011, Steven Gerrard, Real Madrid. Yeah, this is controversial. Yes, Jose Mourinho was begging the Liverpool captain to join him at Real Madrid, but obviously Steven Gerrard was chained to Anfield out of sheer goddamn loyalty. Was he really sticking around for 4 more years though? Had he quit England at 31 years of age, he'd have been spared the worst moment of his life, a mistake that will haunt him until he's lowered into his grave. And even then, some Man United fan will probably write Slippy G in his tombstone. Had he gone to Spain, had he finally got to work with Mourinho, he'd win a La Liga title, play in a winning team with superstars like Ramos, Ronaldo and Bale, instead of, you know, John Joe Shelby and Stuart Downing. This would be the best of both worlds. He wouldn't have dragged his Anfield legacy with the fans through the dirt like he would have if he'd gone to Chelsea in 2005, and he could still have bulked up his trophy cabinet. Had he stayed until 2014, he'd have been able to put another Champions League medal in his locker. Oh, Gerrard. 2012, Andy Carroll, AC Milan. Okay, I'm not sure how realistic this was, but apparently AC Milan, yes, the great AC Milan, were keen on a loan move for Andy Carroll back in 2012. To be fair, this fella at the time was a British record £35 million signing for Liverpool. He had just scored Euro 2012 for England. Sure, the man had the first touch of a broken lawnmower and spent most games stumbling around like a drugged up horse, but Milan were also in the business of searching through toilet water to sign the likes of Fabio Barini. Maybe this one was believable. For Christ's sake, they were recently linked with Jeff Hendrick. Clearly the owners of that club have about as much ambition as Swindon town. Carroll moved to West Ham in 2012 and just became yet another injury-prone, substandard, mid-table centre-forward who's going to be forgotten about within 5 years. Had he gone to the San Siro, he'd have actually tasted Champions League football 2 seasons running as well. Sure, Milan were a rapidly declining club, and the sight of this injury-riddled donkey wearing this proud shirt would have probably sent the city into an early depression. But still, for Carroll, imagine him telling his grandkids kids that he played for Newcastle, Liverpool and AC Milan. Instead of, spending 7 years in the West Ham treatment room. 2013, Joey Barton, Marseille. Okay, Joey Barton doesn't need anyone to tell him that he should have signed for Marseille on a permanent basis, because he knows it. He wanted it at the time. But QPR instead dragged him kicking and screaming back to the championship. Anyway, had he stayed in France, the man could have played Champions League football under world-class managers and alongside top-class players, instead of the footballing toilet bowl that was QPR. 2014, Tom Ince, Inter Milan. Okay, why on earth did Tom Ince ever turn down Inter Milan? How was this ever allowed to happen? Tom Ince rejecting a club who were European champions just 4 years earlier? The word no shouldn't have even crossed his mind. How is this man supposed to sit down his kids, look them in the eye, and explain to them why he rejected the great Inter Milan for a bastard Hull City? Did it pay off? Did it balls? 7 goalless Premier League appearances before signing up for a career of championship mediocrity, save for one more top-flight season at Huddersfield Town. Why didn't he just move to Italy? Good lord. 2015, Glenn Johnson, Roma. Okay, to be fair, Glenn Johnson didn't do too badly when he left Liverpool. He lasted a couple more years at Stoke City, but he had the chance to join an historic club like Roma in the summer of 2015. Again, this man could have ended his career in the same dressing room as Francesco Totti, Mohamed Salah, Daniel De Rossi, Luca Digne, Miralem Pjanic, Edin Dzeko. This was a damn talented Roma team. He'd also have got to taste Champions League football again. Play at the Camp Nou. Okay, Roma did lose 6-1, but still. 2016, John Stones, Barcelona. Okay, you might say John Stones signing for Man City was the best career decision of his life, considering he's effectively shoved medals down his throat. But Barcelona were also interested in taking him from Everton in 2016. And away from the Premier League, he'd probably been able to get away with risky, sloppy defending. You don't get punished as ruthlessly in La Liga. Stones would probably have been groomed as the natural heir to Gerrard Piqué at the new camp, and like Rio, would probably be seen as the best ball-playing centre half in the planet. Not so much at Man City. 2017, Nigel Reo-Coker, Granada. Yeah, remember back in the summer of 2017 when Tony Adams gave Granada trials to Nigel Reo-Coker and Kieran Richardson, trying to drag their careers out of a rubbish dump. Reo-Coker though, he rejected La Liga football, instead signing for some club in the Norwegian second tier. Okay, I realise Adams was about as competent at managing a football club as he was winning a goddamn beauty pageant. And yeah, maybe the contract was laughable. Maybe Granada were only willing to pay Reo-Coker a bowl of peanuts every month. But I don't care, it's La Liga and your career is halfway down the toilet. Sign the contract. 2018, Jamie Vardy, Atletico Madrid. Remember back in 2018 when Atletico Madrid were continuously linked with Jamie Vardy before the World Cup. Now you might argue he's been proven right to stay at Leicester City, adding a Premier League golden boot to his trophy cabinet. But how many Champions League games has he played? Diego Simeone has been an admirer of this guy for a while, and just ask Kieran Trippier. Moving to Spain can actually be a jumpstart for your career. Had he gone there, there'd be no need for Diego Costa. They could have saved money on Alvaro Morata, and this guy, a former Stockbridge Park Steels footballer, could have been ripping up La Liga defences each and every week, and crucially, playing Champions League football on an annual basis. 2019, Jack Rodwell, Roma. Okay, part of me is convinced this was all a joke. When Roma were actually considering offering Jack Rodwell a contract. This might have made sense in 2012, but 2019? Excuse me while I throw up. Were they aware he'd just been binned by a League One club? When a Sunderland team in utter freefall doesn't want you, that's when you know your career is on par with Dapper Laughs. Had he gone to Roma, he'd never have played. Oh Christ, well, I don't care. Earning an actual wage at a European giant like this, he'd probably ripped out his left kidney to sign the deal. But no, obviously someone in the Roma boardroom sobered up long enough to withdraw the deal and just send him to Sheffield United looking for a job. 2020, Matty Longstaff, Udinese. Yeah, good old Matty Longstaff. Having seen his brothers take the headlines last summer with a £50 million transfer link to Man United, clearly he'd grown jealous and wanted the limelight for himself. But remember him blasting the winner against Man United on his debut for Newcastle before tearing off to celebrate with his local Geordies while kissing the badge. A great moment, right? And he repeated the trick a few weeks later with the opening goal at Old Trafford. And now he's technically unemployed after failing to agree a new deal. Sure, Newcastle's spending the season paying you £850 a week. For a Premier League footballer, that wage is a practical insult. And when Udinese are offering you 30 grand a week, it's gonna make you think. Listen, Udinese would be an interesting move, but is it really good for his career? He's 20 years old with less than 10 games in English football. Is a move to Italy where nobody in the country will have a clue who he is that really the best thing for him? After all, they'll probably just bin him off to Watford in the Championship after less than 6 months. But having said that, if Longstaff is motivated by financial gain, then yeah, what are you waiting for? Pack your bags and get yourself on a plane. Anyway, that's the end of it. As I'm in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.